When the gods go to war, the mortals tremble. Welcome to the fate of Stormbringer, an ongoing video series documenting a game of Dragon Rampant, which is inspired by and built by more players than you can count. I don't think anybody knows exactly how many players are involved in this particular fight. I can tell you that the closest impetus for this fight is the Dungeons & Dragons campaign known as Dubzaron, which has a rotating cast of characters and uses Jeff Rogaxian one-to-one timekeeping. We are releasing one video per day in an effort to each turn of this celestial fight for the fate of Stormbringer, who is currently held by these celestial knights right here, classed as elite riders in game terms. Every day we drift closer and closer to the sun, Aminar. If the sword is still on the table at the end of October 12th, it will plunge into the heart of the sun and poison this god right here. Yeah, Aminar is actually a kind of Ra. The nearest our world equivalent would be the Egyptian god Ra. He today has taken the form of the winged serpent because, hey, look, we're out in outer space, kind of in an astrally plane kind of situation. And of course, the greater demon Bel is trying to keep the sword on the table long enough for it to plunge into the sun and poison his enemy, which will have devastating effects on the campaign Dubzaron. Now, what happens if it gets off the table for this guy? Well, it will have devastating effects somewhere else. It's kind of what Stormbringer does. Devastating effects. He brings storms. It's like right there on the tin. You know, Michael Moorcock told us right out of the gate, this is not a happy sword. But we are having a great time fighting out this battle. The suspense is killing me. I really shouldn't be filming this today. I got better things to do, but I got to know what happens here several weeks in the past as I allow a couple of weeks for the creation of the video, editing, uploading, making sure that I got everything right. Mandonio here was a character in the Dubzaron campaign. He met his end at the claws of a very intelligent dragon and is now a demigod who has marched with all the angels and saints to try to save the world of Dubzaron from the grasping claws of this demon. Hey, that's enough talking. Let's get to some rolling. First thing we got to do is any compulsory charges, and we have one. These are Bellicose Foot here. They are required to make a wild charge against this Heavy Foot right here. With a result of an 8, they will be successful, and we get to fight a little battle. I'm going to roll the dice first, and then we're going to go ahead and run the numbers. The Bellicose Foot are hitting on 3s. The Heavy Foot for the Forces of Light are hitting on 4s. The Bellicose Foot have an armor value of 3, so with 5 hits, that's going to do 1 strength point of damage. Heavy infantry normally have an armor value of 3, but we purchased a heavier armor for these guys. They have an armor value of 4, so it's going to be 1 hit to 1 hit. Pretty even results there. Now we have to roll for the morale checks. The Bellicose Foot are going to be at a total of -4. And with a 4 minus 4, that's a result of a 0. They quit the field. The Heavy Foot for the Forces of Light are going to be at a total of -4 plus 1 because Mandonio is here, and that's going to be a total result of a 5, so it's 4. It's -3. 8 minus 3 is 5, and they have a courage value of 4. They're all right. That did not go well for the Forces of Chaos. The tide is turning. The Forces of Law are getting the better of these things. That said, we do have a heavy infantry that is going to attempt to knock Stormbringer out of the hands of this elite riders. And these elite riders are offensive guys. That is, fighting on the defense is not their forte. So once again, I'm going to roll the dice. The Foot, let's move them into contact, shall we? The Foot are hitting on 4s, and they get a grand total of 7 hits, which against an armor of 4 does 1 point of damage. We'll go ahead and roll to see if that point actually takes effect. It does, so our elite riders are going to have to make a morale check at -4. -3 because they've got a general right nearby. Now, for their part, the elite riders only scored 2 hits on the initial roll, but they do have magic weapons. They're going to re-roll all of those misses. They're still only hitting on 5s, but what a difference that makes. On the second roll, they are able to notch another 4 hits against a unit that has an armor value of Now, normally it's 3. These guys have heavy armor, so it's going to be an armor of 4, and that's going to save them from 1 strength point of damage. However, taking 1 strength point does mean they need to make a morale check. Now, both forces, let's pull back just a little bit here so we can show you what's about to happen, are within 3 inches of their general. So these guys are going to be at a total of -1 on their check. And the 6 minus 2 plus 1 is a 5. They've passed. The elite riders are going to be at -4 for the damage they've taken, +1 for the presence of the general. The fact that there's 2 doesn't make a difference. So they're at a total of -3 altogether. They have a morale, a courage of 3 up. They need a 6 or better. With a result of a 5, minus the 3, they get a 2. They are going to flee. As you can see, things are a little tight here. The heavy riders do not have the ability to fall back 2.5 inches. There's just not enough room between these 2 units. Things get a little ugly in this case. Quoting from the rules, if a unit cannot retreat its full move, it moves as far as possible. So they're going to drop Stormbringer. And then he's going to drift back to, we'll squeeze him in kind of as best we can. There's a 1-inch buffer all the way around, leaving 1-inch distance. So we don't want to reward them for being too jammed up. But now they have to roll 1 die and compare it to the unit's courage. Remember, our courage is 3 here. It must lose, if the dice roll is lower than the courage, it must lose strength points equal to the dice result. So on a 1, 2, or on a 1 or a 2, they will lose an additional 1 or 2 points of strength. 2. That removes these guys, so they are now down to half strength. They will only be rolling 6 dice on the attack or the defense. And I warned you this game was swinging. I warned you it was anybody's game. It remains anybody's game. These guys cannot follow up in Dragon Rampant. In other titles by Dan Mercy in this crowd, if you force a guy off a position, you can take that position, and I think we would class that. However, this is not The Men Who Would Be Kings. It's not, what are some of the other ones? Not Lion Rampant. There's another one, Pikeman's Lament. So we're going to play it, hewing as close to the rules as we possibly can, and doing so means that we are now in a position where the forces of chaos can get their grubby mitts on the ball. And with these guys having gone, the only guy left to do it is the Demon Prince himself. He is just 3 inches away, trying to execute a move order. Although, yeah, we got to do that first. We really want him to get his hands on it. On a result of a 5, our elite foot are going to be able to execute a move order. Look at that. He now holds Stormbringer. Stormbringer is in the grip of the figure that it was hoping to be in this whole time. On the next turn, he should be about 1 inch away from everybody. But remember, he has to weather this storm as well. Oh, these guys are battered. I forgot the red gem. So they're not even going to be able to attack this guy, hopeless though it may be. Oh, so exciting. We're still not done with the forces of chaos yet, though. Let's take a look at the other side of the battlefield. Here is that Demon Prince, just to get you oriented right. We've got 3 more units that need to attempt to act, and we will start with... These shooters are... Can we take a shot at Aminar? Wouldn't that be fun? They are within 6 inches. We're going to try a shoot action. We're going to try to... No, let's bring her up here. That's our first move. On a 6, our elite foot will. She can move 3 inches, like so, keeping 1 inch of distance there. And then, remember, these guys are fighting at half strength. Then we're going to try to take a shoot action at Aminar, and with a result of a 5, our light missiles have a shoot action of, they need to roll a 6 or, no, a 7 or better. So that is going to end the turn for the forces of chaos. Now it's time to figure out how Aminar will respond. Remember, Aminar has a free move action that he can issue to anyone. We don't have any... Well, the first thing we have to do is this morale check here. At a total of -5, these guys roll a 7, and now I think we can justify pulling them back 2.5 inches to here. They do retain their battered status, and they take 1 more wound for that failure. That's compulsory. Now we get to do our voluntary moves, and the first voluntary move I think we need to do is we got to get our hands on this guy right here. We have got to stop him. We're going to bring up our heavy war beasts. And with a result of a 9, they will launch an attack. Now, both sides are going to roll 12 dice, but we have a lot of special abilities. So I'm going to slow down a little bit. Let me roll the dice first. Not a great roll for the War Beasts. Solid roll for Bell. All right, this is pretty complicated. I want to do the easy one first. Hitting on 3s means we score 6 hits against the Demon Prince. 2 of those don't really do us much good because he has an armor value of 4. Now, he does have magic armor. He's got that 6-up save. And with a 4, he will take 1 point of damage. He has to take a morale check at -1. For his part, Bale gets a total of 2, 4, 6, 7 hits, but he gets to re-roll because he is that powerful. His misses, and he's hitting on 4s. He gets a total of 10 hits, but wait, it's even worse than that because he is venomous. Each of these hits counts as 2 hits. So he scores a total of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hits against a unit with an armor value of 4. 15 divided by 4 is going to be 3 hits altogether. We're going to remove 1 full stand. And now these guys are at half strength. We'll kind of move them up into position, though, because we do have to make our morale checks. And our Astral Elephants need a 9 to succeed. They are at -6 altogether, so a 6 or less, they will run off the table. He only needs to roll a 4 or better. You're not going to believe this. But the Demon Lord has rolled a 3. -1 is a 2. He fails his morale check, and he has to flee a half a move. Oh, we'll keep the... See, that's dramatic. And he leaves Stormbringer behind. Now, they are also going to fail. They're going to fall back 2.5 inches. And, man, I'm kind of thinking these guys might be the hero of the day. They just are relentless, and they just keep diving forward. With the Greater War Beast fallen back, we do still have the option to exercise the free move order. We're going to race these light riders up into possession of Stormbringer. They're not tough, but at least we've got possession for another turn. It keeps the initiative and forces these guys to keep throwing themselves at our riders. With that done, then we have a couple of options. Fortunately, Mandonio is just within 3 inches of this bellicose foot. He has yet to move off this spot. It took the passage of a black hole, sending a gravity wave to shift him 1 inch. Let's see if he can roll a 5 or better. He's on the attack as an elite. Look at that. Here we go. He's finally able to lend some support. So he comes crashing into the side of this unit here. That unit is better on the defensive. That is a heavy foot unit. Heavy foot are on the defensive. They will hit on 4s. And, of course, as an elite foot, Mandonio on the attack is going to hit on 3s. He's going to get a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's quite a lot. Now, doesn't he have a magic sword? Magic strength. He re-rolls his missed hits. So he gets a total of 12 hits altogether. These guys are hitting on 4s, as we said. They are only going to get 3 hits altogether. Is that right? Heavy foot hitting on 4s. That's not enough to do any damage. Man, when he hits hard, doesn't he, folks? He's going to do a grand total of 3 hits. We're going to pull off 1 full stand from this heavy foot, and then they are forced to make a morale check at a total of -4. That's 5 for the wounds, plus 1 for the general. At -4, they score a 3. Heavy foot have a courage of 4. That is going to leave them battered. They fall back 1.5 inches to here, and we're going to open it up a little bit as well, just to kind of keep our spacing with their general. Now, they will have a bonus on the recovery next round, but that really puts us in good stead. We still have 1, 2, 3 units left to try to do something with them. Let's go ahead and bring these heavy foot up this... Oh, actually, Aminar needs to go yet, too. We're going to have Aminar take a pot shot at the Demon Lord. Well, no, we're not. We're going whole hog. We're going to dive in. Aminar races into melee. As elite foot on elite foot, a 10 is going to do it. He says, "Kapow, get off my celestial lawn." And elite foot. Again, we've got so many different magical powers here. I may need to pause it to calculate exactly what all's going on here. All right, this might have been a mistake. The 4 hits, those are each going to do 2 hits. Elite Foot, he's going to be missing on each of these, but he gets to re-roll here. And he's going to score another 1, 2. This Demon Prince really knows how to take full advantage of his re-rolls, doesn't he? Aminar, for his part, is also a godlike being, meaning that in addition to I think both of these guys are going to have that 6-up save. He re-rolls missed hits as well. He is hitting on 3s, but he does not get the benefit of doing 2 points of damage on 6s. So he does a total of 11 hits altogether on his opponent. And for his part, the opponent does a total of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hits. Wow, this guy is tough, isn't he? With an armor of 4, these results become a total of 2 strength points to the bad guy. He has a strength save of 6 up. He does not save either of those. He will take 2 additional points of damage, leaving him at 3. So we're just going to stack those underneath him. Now, he does a total of 14 points. That's going to do 3 hits against his enemy. Whoops. Sorry about that there. 8. Did I get that right? 8 plus 6 is 14. So, yeah, 12. So that's 3 hits altogether. That means Aminar has 3 chances to save. And he gets 1 6, so he only takes 2 points of damage. Let me pull out another damage marker. Aminar is now taking his first 2. So we have to make 2 courage checks. This one is at -2. This one is at -3. So looking for a 6. Bell gets it. Aminar is at -2, looking for a 5. He gets it as well. Aminar has to fade back just a little bit to there. That is the end of the fight. And you can see why we wanted to do some damage against that guy. I think the next thing we do is we're going to try to move these guys up. They're not. I don't think they're close enough to attack. They are not. So we're just going to try to close up that avenue. And on a result of a 4, Heavy Foot they need a 6 to advance. So they're not going to. That's going to end the turn. October 1st kicks off the tabletop portion of the Brovenloft campaign. And this depending on how long this goes, could have serious ramifications on the Brovenloft campaign as well. Remember that the Magic Sword is in the hands of the good guys, so if you are playing a tabletop game on this October 1st in the year of our Lord 2022, bear in mind that the forces of light are ascendant, at least for the time being. It's not going to last long, as the forces of chaos are now eager to launch themselves in, although the only guy that's set to do anything is Bell. But we've seen exactly what kind of effect he can have on the battlefield, and we do still have 11 days left to go. Even moving directly, this could be tight. If Aminar falls, everybody on this side of the table has to make a morale check. If they fail the morale check, they're going to drop Stormbringer. So I know it's looking good for the forces of light right now, but there's still a lot of race left to run. Tune in tomorrow. I'm praying for you.